My dear ACSIR students, a very warm welcome to this web address which has been scheduled at the beginning of the August 2020 semester of ACSIR. Particularly, I welcome the new students who will be joining ACSIR from this semester, August 2020. And also, it is important for our existing students as well as alumni to have this occasion in terms of an interaction with the ACSIR, the updates what are happening in ACSIR and about their institution, how it is going ahead with respect to its academic programs, particularly in this time when all of us, not only in India but globally, we are facing a unprecedented situation of COVID-19 pandemic. This address would be a mix of both in English and Hindi, and while this address goes on, all my dear students, whoever has any question, they can note down that question and put it in the live chat. At the end of this address, I will try to have a discussion on it and try to answer those questions or address those queries. So, in the beginning, I would like to introduce CSIR and ACSIR, particularly for the benefit of our fresh students. CSIR, Council of Scientific and Industrial Research, is a research organization, the most premier research organization of the country, which has a chain of about 40 research laboratories across the country, and each national laboratory has a clear-cut mandate. That mandate is related to the national needs to provide solution to national challenges, as well as doing the deep discovery science in all areas of science, technology, engineering and mathematics. CSIR has been involved since beginning in the activity of human resource development, beside the research being conducted in the laboratories by its esteemed scientists all these years. But at some time, this human resource development activity, which was related to guiding PhD students to a limited extent, was associated with having a degree facilitation from other institutions like state universities or some other universities, including the central universities. A landmark development happened in 2018 when the CSIR leadership nurtured an idea of the academics strengthening of human resource development activity at the level of mentoring young researchers in a structured way. This ideation, it began with our former Director General of CSIR, Professor R.A. Maselkar, and was subsequently taken up further by Professor Samir K. Brahmachari, and their all efforts resulted into the creation of this new entity, which is the Academy of Scientific and Innovative Research, which we abbreviate is as ACSIR, and there is a specific purpose for which this nomenclature, because this operates in the complete harmony and coordination and cooperation with CSIR. Therefore, in a way, it reads as a CSIR in its own abbreviation. And if you look at the logo of ACSIR, it shares the logo of CSIR in its own logo. This kind of a platform is unique and probably the first one, and in a way it reflects the functioning of a concept of a research university, not only in this form, but in the form of how two organizations can work together. This is a unique and a special example of working together, cooperation, coordination and collaboration between two organizations, and it is a challenge how it can proceed seamlessly. And CSIR and ACSIR working together have demonstrated that how seamlessly it can work, how efficiently it can work. There are several hallmarks of ACSIR. You all know ACSIR works in a model of a hub and spoke model, in which all the CSIR national laboratories, they are academic centers of ACSIR, and ACSIR operates its headquarters at one of the CSIR institutions, that is CSIR Human Resource Development Center in Ghaziabad, which we call as an ACSIR headquarters. The hallmark of ACSIR are the academic program in ACSIR, particularly PhD program, has an inbuilt course structure which is not only interdisciplinary learning, but also it comprises of a program which we call as a societal program. The idea of societal program is that our young researchers, when we choose to do research and to choose to go for a research profession, then there is the necessity of having a spirit of remaining connected with the society. The purpose of such a societal program is not to find a solution to anything, but it is more purpose is to be sensitive to the societal needs, which actually takes care of its young researchers and enables them to pursue their program in public funded institutions like CSIR laboratories. It is the purpose of this societal program may not be realized today in terms of its outcome, but I believe the kind of an imprint it will create in the minds of our young researchers will be kept forever at any opportunity in their profession when they are in the service to the society and to the nation or anywhere on the planet. They will keep in mind that this societal linkage is important at any opportunity. They through their skill set, through their thoughts, through their ideas, and through their translations and innovations, they will contribute to the society. And this is a kind of a academic pledge the students take by working, not by words. ACSIR functioning is a unique functioning in which we have a distributed system in which it is managed. Every institution we have a CSIR, we have a coordinator of ACSIR who handles the students' academic activities and institution-wise. ACSIR uniqueness is also in terms of its programs, which are critically important with respect to that any approach has to be as far as possible interdisciplinary, because no problem in the world or anything you study is not a one-dimensional study. Whenever a study goes on, we may come from a specific discipline, but problem is not restricted to a single discipline. Solutions are not restricted to a single discipline. It requires the approaches of addressing those questions, answering those questions, or finding a solution into a multidisciplinary concept or a multidisciplinary approach. And it is the CSIR that offers this kind of a platform within an institution as well as across institutions within CSIR and even beyond. With CSIR programs in place, it provides an opportunity to all these students a unique mentorship of CSIR scientists, which itself is a world class. This kind of a faculty, if you visit across institutions, this is one of the best in the world, and no doubt is the best in the country. The infrastructure, the research facilities that are available in CSIR are the best, and this mechanism of ACSIR, it serves the society by providing access to the young researchers to these such facilities, as well as this highly esteemed mentorship of CSIR scientists for grooming the young researchers so that the future scientists are much more talented than the present scientists in the country. And this contribution of the joint efforts of CSIR and ACSIR is valuable in many ways, not only with respect to the service to the nation, but also to the service to the planet and service to the whole subject of science and technology in the country and everywhere. ACSIR degree has a specific format. This format involves a coursework, a comprehensive examination, and a research thesis. The total duration for this PhD degree in ACSIR is minimum 3 years and maximum 6 years. Coursework in ACSIR is being streamlined. Now the new course structure that will be coming up from August 2020 semester has a unique structure which would have only 4 courses. A research methodology course, which will be 4 credits for research methodology and 2 credits for research ethics, which is mandatory as a guideline from UGC. Then we have an interdisciplinary course which one can have across the disciplines of 2 credits, and an advanced course, that is course number 3. An advanced course will be 6 credits. Those 6 credits can be completed either in terms of the 2 courses of 3 credits each, or 3 courses of 2 credits each. It's a highly flexible. And the 4th one is a societal program. It has been completely revised. Societal program from now onwards would be a group activity. So up to 5 ACSIR students can form a group and identify a topic, identify a subject of societal relevance which needs to be analyzed, and develop their thoughts and give their collective opinion after due analytics, that how it can be, how important is this problem, how are the potential solutions to it. This is kind of a ground. This is more of a brainstorming within a group. It is expected to cultivate the spirit of a teamwork within the group, and it has no subject boundary. A student coming from biological sciences can take up such a problem from the physical sciences or even engineering. The idea in this is to work together and to analyze together. You can have this team of 5 students. Initially we thought that it will be from a laboratory, but incidentally, when we were a few days back, when we were just working on it, we got an idea. We had a visitor, Dr. Sarmila Mande, to ACSIR headquarters, and I was just discussing that now we are changing it to societal program to be a group activity up to 5 students. An idea came in from her that why it cannot be across institutions. And it's a wonderful idea. This not only it creates a wider scope of interdisciplinary working, but also it creates a larger connectivity among the fellow students, the students of ACSIR from one laboratory to another, where they will know the students from another laboratory. And this way the connectivity will increase. The higher the connectivity, interactions will increase, and it will be more productive, more creative, more better learning from each other by ACSIR students. We have been streamlining the ACSIR processes in an accelerated path, and today I am happy to share with you all that probably academic processes of ACSIR are one of the best in the country. ACSIR reflects this efficiency by the hard work that all my colleagues in ACSIR, I mean to say the ACSIR staff itself, and our ACSIR coordinators in laboratories, our deans and associate deans, they are working together to set this pathway of acceleration. I may just bring to your knowledge that at this time, ACSIR has more than 5,000 PhD students on rolls in science and engineering. How important this number is? This number is the largest in the country. When we have around close to 1,000 universities and institutions which award degrees in different disciplines, including science, technology and engineering, ACSIR probably accounts for 10% of them. And this number of students are managed in about 45 centers of ACSIR. There are different laboratories of CSIR and few of the other institutes also beyond CSIR that I'll come to that subject little later. And they are managed by a total staff of ACSIR which is less than 50. If you compare it to some of the institutions where such programs run, you find enormous number of people working on this, but the efficiency of ACSIR is unparalleled. Now we have set guidelines. Once Viva happens and Viva results comes to ACSIR headquarters, we have set a limit that it will be processed within 5 working days. And within 5 working days, if everything is, all compliances are correct and the program requirements have been duly completed, a student gets his or her provisional PhD degree or even a provisional master's degree within the shortest time by email as a scanned copy. And final degree is available on demand anytime. We had, after a long time, we conducted a convocation of ACSIR in November last year. Probably it happened after 5 years, but I feel happy that it was a great event. I was so happy to see the motivated students, the talented students of ACSIR and their keenness for their organization. We had planned the next convocation in this month itself. Indeed, we had also identified that probably could have been organized at CSIR, CFTRI in Mysore, but because of COVID situation, we could not do that. Now the suggestions are coming that in case the conventional convocation cannot be scheduled in the near time, we may have the new model of convocation that I suggested we got from many of our dear ACSIR students. We have been working very hard to have a pride position for ACSIR in academia, not only in India but abroad. It is a matter of happiness and pride that the third party evaluations of higher education institutions, particularly based on their research outputs. It's important because ACSIR students are largely research students. This includes PhD students, and also the master's students also have a research component of the degree. There are at least two ranking agencies of global position. That is SCIMAGO is one of them, Nature Index is second. SCIMAGO evaluates higher education institutions on the basis of their research publications using the data from Scopus, which is a public domain data, and this is an analysis which has no human interference. And if you look at the SCIMAGO analysis, this analysis is not a simple numeric of the outputs. It has a huge analysis into many components. The components include the translational aspects also, the conceptual contributions also, the collaborations also. And it's a comprehensive analysis. On that basis, ACSIR has been evaluated. And in this evaluation, ACSIR has occupied position number 3 in the country, that is just next to Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore. Its position is 113 in Asia and 348 in the world. This is a position we are happy with it, but our expectations are much higher. I believe ACSIR has a potential to come into the bracket of top 100 universities or academic institutions. We need to have that target, and we need to work for that target. So we have certain expectations from our students, and we have an expectations from ourselves also. How we can achieve that, so that by our competitive advantage, by realizing our strengths and by working on doing away with our weaknesses. And this challenge, I am pretty sure that we will achieve. There is also a ranking system within the country which is called as a NIRF, and more than a ranking in NIRF, my worries have been with respect to on the basis of NIRF, my students should not be ignored, and this is at the core of my heart. NIRF stands for National Institution Ranking Framework. When it comes to a national, we have a feeling for the nation, and it involves all institutions. It is a very healthy competition for institutions to improve, and this challenge is for us also to improve. There are two parts of NIRF. One is our own capability, our own competitive strength, and second is the process of NIRF. We have everything in control with respect to our building up our competitive strength, and we have the strength of logic with respect to the process. We have been pursuing this matter with the concerned authorities in the line ministry, and there is a sense of positivity happening, and I expect that its outcomes should be positive, because our expectation is not for any kind of a favor. Our expectation is that we should be evaluated and we should get a position what we deserve today. I am sure this will come up. I have put up, indeed we have had a lot of correspondence. Our Director General CSIR, Dr. Shekhar Mande, he has also communicated to the concerned authorities to have to consider this aspect and address this issue. Subsequently, I have also had a long meeting with the concerned officials, and we have put up our logics and our viewpoint across. Not only that, the suggestion, I must acknowledge, when all this was happening, I had a discussion with our Honorable Chancellor, Professor Chandrasekhar, and during the discussion, it came out, it's an academic discussion, it came out that what is the primary purpose of a ranking system. We look at, it's not specific to say NIRF, it could be related to the global ranking system that we have, the Times Higher Education and the QS. The purpose of a ranking system is because for an educational institution is that you provide a competitive analysis of the strengths of the institutions with respect to their potential institution of choice for the students to pursue their next program of study. So this next program of study from the students who come out from the school could be an undergraduate. For the students who have completed their undergraduate, the next program of study is masters, and for those who have done master, their next program of study is PhD. Therefore, there are three independent verticals. So the idea came from our Honorable Chancellor that because there is ideally in a growing system of a ranking, there should be three different verticals. This means the institutions should have a ranking with respect to undergraduate program, the master's program and a PhD program. And this will be more beneficial for the stakeholders, particularly the prospective students who intend to pursue their next program, and also for the parents who think about their children with respect to their choice of next institution for their education. And we believe that this has enough weight and it's a great direction for improvement of a ranking system in the country. I hope eventually when NIRF is a great system that the country has introduced. As we grow, we should continue to contribute by our ideation for its improvement. And I believe this is one of the dimensions of its improvement. Indeed, when I had a discussion with the highest official in the line ministry, a suggestion came in also from that officer itself that even and in the next level it could be subject specific also or a faculty specific also. So this is how we should look at this ranking system in the largest perspective for the nation, and we should look at this in the larger perspective of institutions standing globally. This is one aspect. I am sure this is an aspect which is very dear and which is very important for CSIR. Philosophically, it is important for our students because they will feel proud of that we come from the institution which has this particular ranking. And for getting any ranking, we need to be evaluated. Our idea is to get evaluated and get what we did. Same way when we have a ranking in SciMago, it's a matter of pride. But there is also often happens that certain things can be meant for an organization is used somewhere else. This point also have been taken up with the concerned officials, including certain institutions, that this is a ranking is for an institution, not for an individual. Individual talent is uniformly distributed across in all societies, across the country, all geographic regions, everywhere. And this talent you can find at any time. In any tier of education, you find a talent in a small village school, you find a talent in a small college also, you find a talent in a big college also. So, therefore, individual talent is an individual talent. The credentials, individual merit is an individual merit, and that should not be undermined in the any kind of a parameters of rankings. Rankings are for institutions, merits is for an individual. This point has been put across, and I am sure this will happen. Indeed, when we have the last year, this problem was not that big. It was restricted to a few of the institutions. We had letter. Many of those leaders of those institutions, they had agreed, and indeed largely this issue has been addressed, at least at operational part. At the process in place part, the matter is being pursued, and I hope it will conclude favorably. This in place, our efforts will continue till we get it. Now I'll come to the second aspect of this address, and that is related to the academics part of ACSIR and its students. PhD degree is the highest degree anywhere, and any highest degree, it has highest expectations. Expectations for whom? Expectations from whom? These are the expectations, your own expectations from yourself. These are expectations of your family from you. These are expectations from you of ACSIR, from you being an ACSIR student. These are the expectations for the nation, by expectations of the nation, expectations of the society from you. Particularly for the fresh students of ACSIR, I like to just put a point here that they should think why do you want to do PhD? What is so special about PhD? What do you get out of a PhD? The Doctor of Philosophy as a degree is one part. The Doctor of Philosophy is shaping your philosophy is a second part. Research is a profession, and research profession requires the skill development, thought, idea development, and a structure of answering the questions, scientific questions that I need to say. This is the stage at which you get yourself equipped with these. We often say, why do you do PhD? Why, or even a bigger question is, why do you do research? Research is a profession. And the profession is a profession. It is linkage with employment is a second part. Primary part is, why do you do? If you go into history, in the whole very purpose of any profession is that you pursue that profession for a satisfaction of your life, for a pleasure. So if your pleasure is in conducting research, if you have a curiosity and you have a pleasure in trying to answer that curiosity, you have a pleasure in having a creativity, this is the purpose of doing a PhD, or this is the purpose of doing a research. The outcomes, the secondary part of this is a different question. This could be important, no doubt about it, but we cannot equate professions in the world or anywhere. We can in a country, any country also. Some people feel happy, okay, working is a profession of a research. Some people feel happy as a profession of a teaching. Some people feel happy about profession of a business, and even some people have a profession of serving the society. So these are the commitments actually. Profession is a commitment, and we should work for that profession by a commitment of 100%. And that 100% happen that if we work for that profession sincerely, we get a pleasure out of it. Once you are in a doctoral research, then you are actually committed to conduct that research by best your efforts, by best of your thoughts. That is, if you take this whole doctoral degree in that spirit, how to catalyze those profession is by interaction. I have many expectations also from my students. They work in different CSIR laboratories. Those CSIR laboratories are their campus, and in that campus, it is their inbuilt responsibility to contribute to the scientific culture of that campus. How do you contribute to the scientific culture of those campuses? Is there are many things that can be done. One of the things which is important is that you should interact with your colleagues, and that interaction should be a scientific interaction. You discuss with your colleagues, and once you discuss with your colleagues, by discussion, a positive discussion happens, it results into a better co-learning. And that is how you can contribute to the scientific culture, scientific environment of the laboratory. The laboratory will feel proud of you, and you will feel proud of this interaction. The collegial activity has to increase. There are many other possibilities where students interact in the form of the journal clubs or the student seminars and all that way, including some kind of a brainstorming of shorter groups. And that is how you can actually sharpen your views, sharpen your understanding, and revise your approaches even with respect to the work that you have planned to do or you are doing. There could be shorter groups through which these activities can be pursued. Also, recently I've got some correspondences with some of the students. Particularly, I'll name a few of them. Neha from IIT Dehradun, Anupma from CSIO, Mahesh from CBRI, and Ekans. They have been corresponding with that, and many more of them. This is a uniqueness of ACSIR that ACSIR is very responsive, and by my own philosophy, in my present role and responsibility as a director, I try to respond to an individual student's queries as far as possible, and any suggestion for the improvement of the organization is most welcome. See, what is most important is the organizations, and when we have a time window in which we are to contribute to that organization, this is our responsibility to contribute to in the best way it is possible. An idea came out for having a CSIR Research Scholars Forum. It's a very good idea, and any idea should lead into a creativity of a platform which contributes to the advancement for the system for which it is meant. I think the best design and the best objectives can be set for it, and ACSIR as an organization will be happy to have it on board and have the suggestions. Even beyond that, any constructive suggestion, any suggestion for improvement is most welcome. And ACSIR will try to do work on it as soon as possible and as best as it is possible. We can have certain things which can be done in shorter term, there can be certain things which can be done in longer terms. When we talk about the scale of the students in CSIR, there are many challenges also. We have those numbers, then we need to have all our outcomes should match to that scale, and they are matching. Also in terms of quality. So on a quality ranking basis, there is a quality ranking system globally which is called a Nature Index. Nature Index, unlike SCImago, which takes into consideration all the publications from an organization. Nature Index is very selective in looking into only top tier journals across disciplines. I think there are around 92 journals, and contributions of institutions worldwide into those journals are considered in those kinds that ranking, and ACSIR has a highly significant position even those journals. Our ranking in those top tier journals in the country is 7th, and there is a huge scope that we come upward. How do we come upward is by improving the quality of the research of our students, the quality of publications of our students, and also it is important that on all those publications the affiliation of ACSIR should be reflected by the student, because it is only the data captured based on the name of the organization, and for this ACSIR has drawn a very standard format of reflecting your affiliation with ACSIR in your research publications, and that has been circulated to all the institutes, and largely it is being followed over the last couple of years, and that is the reason that we are measured correctly in all these ranking systems, and we have occupied a position which we feel happy with this, we feel proud with it, but the prouder moments we have to create for future, and for this the efforts are needed in terms of improving quality and also reflecting your affiliation with the ACSIR. The research profession has bigger challenges in today's time, when humanity all over the planet is facing the COVID-19 pandemic situation. These challenges are twofold. If we have the whole system of collectivism, they are twofold. One is related to the new discoveries and new directions of research, and second is related to challenges of continuing the normal operation despite difficulties. And these are the challenges both at the level of the organizations and its stakeholders. In this case, they are the students. As an organization, ACSIR has actually aligned to the needs of the present time and evolved the procedures which would minimize the adverse effects of this situation in academics. In the previous semester, we have made it a system of a web-based classes and even web-based examination, web-based evaluations. It is also possible that this semester may also go that way. It's a great opportunity indeed that we discover that we cross, once we are in web mode, all boundaries are removed. And when I talk about boundaries, these are the boundaries of which course you will take and which teacher you will like to study, will you like to attend the class. We are evolving a system. I am sure if not from this semester, from January 2020 semester, we will have a course structure where the ACSIR students can take from any institute, can take a course from anywhere across ACSIR. To harmonize this, two of the courses are almost uniform across ACSIR, that is Research Methodology and Societal Program. There are indeed interdisciplinary courses also is almost one can take from anywhere. Only advanced course may remain an institute specific this time, but eventually it will be available all across ACSIR. It will be a great opportunity to learn from a teacher you want to learn from, and to take a course which you have an interest in. with respect to your research problem or otherwise, or it can be just an academic learning. This is one part. Second part is that research part. We all know research in India has been a culture since ages. Only differences have been the documentation. If we just come to the recent times, since our independence, India has valued, and I'd like to just take you back to a few decades when our former Prime Minister, late Lal Bahadur Shastri, when the country was in crisis, both in terms of the grain production, food production, and in terms of the national security, the slogan he gave is Jai Jawan, Jai Kisan. These are not 4 words, these are challenge for everyone. How we can make a Jai Jawan, how we can make a Jai Kisan, and what an individual citizen can work. But the country worked for it. Its citizens in different professions, in agriculture, in research, they worked for it. And our former Prime Minister, late Atal Bihari Vajpayee, added a new responsibility to it, that was Jai Vigyan. So it became Jai Jawan, Jai Kisan, Jai Vigyan. So philosophy is that this Jai we can make by scientific interventions, by our research knowledge and translation of that knowledge of science. And our Honorable Prime Minister, Shri Narendra Modi ji, advanced it to Jai Jawan, Jai Kisan, Jai Vigyan, Jai Anusandhan. This is a focus of research, and in this time. This focus is a responsibility how research can address it, and you link in terms of a Atmanirbhar Bharat, that Atmanirbhar Bharat will require the scientific intervention from all disciplines so that our agriculture is strengthened, our defense is strengthened, and our development is strengthened. And this is where the new generation of our researchers should give their best in this component also by their thoughts and their outputs. Therefore, because ACSIR has the students mainly from the research, mainly from the PhD students which pursue a research profession, these becomes the guiding lines for their research. Irrespective of whether it is a blue sky research or with respect to a deep science research, or whether it is a science for translation. Science is science, it has applications today, it will find applications tomorrow. But we should, the challenge to the new generation is that it should be at its best. You know, when gravity was discovered, nobody knew what will be the application of gravity at that time. But today know that gravity is everything. How to once the gravity is dealt with, the things go in space. So our thoughts should be open. Our thoughts should be deep, and our thoughts should be limitless for the best of the country, for the best of the society, and for the best of the planet. I remember that we when we think about, we ask about role models, you will find role models in all times. We may not have to go to role models of 200 years, even you can find a very good role models in present time. And sometimes it's a small idea that make wonders. I'll say one, I still myself remember that a small advertisement used to come on a television that Delhi will be free of polio. It was a very small advertisement. And our Honorable Minister for Science and Technology, Dr. Harshvardhan, started. It was a very small beginning he made. And then he nurtured it to that whole country became polio free. This is a great development when you work into the health system and you see the implications of polio. You will find many such examples that a small initiative which has been taken and nurtured, it has given immense dividends for the betterment of the society, for the betterment of the humanity. And the purpose is that for a good cause, you can find models many in your narrow distance also. Therefore, with those challenges, understanding them and working for them, giving your best is the expectation that ACSIR has from all of you, and this is the expectation that this nation has from you. I recollect when I was in a previous organization in Mohali where I led 2 institutions, I had organized a lecture there, and there was a professor from systems biology. He gave an example that if you look at the structure of an atom, you have protons in the center and electrons outside. And the whole system works. So, we cannot bifurcate into, but we say negative and positive, despite that negativity, the whole system works. Therefore, these challenges are there in all times. When we say, there is a saying that necessity is the mother of invention. आवश्यकता आविष्कार की जननी है. What is necessity? Necessity is that we want to advance. Is one necessity, one class of necessity. And necessity is one, we want to get rid of difficulties. Now, the difficulties are time specific. Both are necessities and both require research, both require invention. Therefore, in today's time, we have this slogan important for us. Necessity is mother of invention, and this necessity is that our normal development will also go, and our normal handling of difficulties will also go. With this spirit in place, our PhD program at NIST Jorhat. She writes, we have our registration date January 2021 is too late. Could you please allow us for registration as soon as possible? Now, January 2021 because of this COVID situation, which is variable across states and across cities, to suit to the needs of the students, we have made it flexible. Means, there were issues that the students who have been, the candidates who have been selected, some of their students had a difficulty in arranging their specific certificate from their local administration. And there were also issues, some of the students had a difficulty because some of the final examinations had not been conducted. So, for the submission of certificates, we have already extended the date as 31st December 2020. but still to take care of the continuing difficulties with some students, we have allowed the deferment of the students to join till January 2021. Now, because in ACS, in any institution, registration is a semester-wise activity, and January from today's date is just 4 months away. Classes start in a cohort. The classes will start either in the beginning of a semester, so August classes will be starting, and January semester classes will be starting in January. So that part apart, because that can only happen as a cohort, students are free, if the laboratory permits, to join the laboratory for the research work. They can join for research, and the moment the date of registration comes in, they will be enrolled. So there is no restriction for the student to work on that, but for a registration is a time specific activity, and there is no much big difference in between. Indeed, our new system will have a continuous admission also. So I am sure we will not allow any kind of a difficulty coming to you because of this 4 months delay in registration, because invariably so we have a minimum requirement of 3 years that normally takes. So you will have 3, if you count it from now onward, 3 years and 4 months. That is not a big issue. I have a question from Surbhi Raj. Sir, please introduce us to MTech program. So we have 2 programs in ACSIR where we have an MTech degree. One program is an MTech standalone, which is a 2 years program. After 2 years, a student can complete, one completes the master's program in MTech, and then he or she can make a choice whether wants to go elsewhere or wants to pursue PhD in ACSIR. If he or she wants to pursue PhD in ACSIR, can apply in ACSIR and seek admission on a competitive basis. Or if he or she intends to go elsewhere or wants to go, this is a complete freedom. We also have a program which we call as an integrated dual degree program for masters, which is MTech and PhD integrated. Now this integrated program has been made a very flexible considering the ground realities for the students. As we all know, anybody who does a degree also does this for choosing a profession or kind of the profession means, I mean to say, employment is integral part of this, and it happens that sometimes students after masters get an opportunity of employment. To help these students in such a way that students do not lose the opportunity of pursuing PhD also and do not lose the opportunity of finding a job, the dual degree program has been introduced. This program implies that a student starts a dual degree program, and once a student has completed 3 years, so that is a year more than a typical master's program, then one can take an exit and can come back and complete PhD. So ideally, what it signifies that a student completes the master's program in 2 years, completes part of the PhD also in 1 year, and part of the PhD remains, so that she or he can come back and make a choice. So it is flexible, one can do continuously or one can have a break in between. We as such have a break in PhD in ACSIR or in PhD in ACSIR, also in masters also. If for some reason, whether they are your personal domestic reasons or they are related to your job, you can have a one-time academic break of up to 2 years. So that can be used, but the caveat here is that it is one time. So one time means in continuously, if one takes for 1 year, before 1 year expires, one can ask for an additional 1 year. So it can go up to 2 years. But if somebody has opted for 1 year and joined, then he or she cannot go for a second chance of 1 year time remaining, but chance not remaining. So it is a one time, maximum 2 years. Emmanuel Joseph, can we have a group of students from different departments for societal program? As I explained in my address, this societal program will be open not only across departments. As such, there is no limitation of departments within an institution. It will have no restriction of even institutions. And I may also add, which I missed mentioning in my address, that ACSIR at this time has many other institutions which are associated beyond CSIR, because the ACSIR has become very attractive for the many other national laboratories, and we have been receiving requests. At least 5 of them are already in place. The Institute of Nanoscience and Technology, which is a DST institute in Mohali, that is now affiliated with ACSIR. Institute of Advanced Studies in Science and Technology in Guwahati, which is also a DST funded institution, that is also now with ACSIR for the academic programs. And we already have the Indian Institute of Public Health both in Delhi and Hyderabad with ACSIR. They are under the umbrella of Public Health Foundation of India. And in Hyderabad we also have LV Prasad Eye Institute, which is a world-class institute in ophthalmic research, that is also with ACSIR. And an ICMR institute in Dwarka, that is Institute of Malaria Research, that is also with ACSIR for the academic program. So there is no, indeed it's a welcome move. The students from, the idea of societal program is indeed a uninhibited interaction among the students to evolve a common subject of study and to inculcate the spirit of a teamwork. And this teamwork should be taken in its right spirit by the group. So right spirit means they should collectively work. They should prepare a single report which can be submitted by each of them, and they should make its presentation collectively. It should not happen that out of the whole group only one person makes a presentation. Should not reflect this is the work of only one person. So it is a participatory at all steps, at the ideation, at the observations, at the compilation of analytics of the data, and also at the presentation. And its evaluation is also collective. Priyanka Shukla, her query is, sir, if someone has completed his coursework from other institute, they have to go for coursework again. If someone has completed the coursework as an ACSIR student from one institute, means one of the CSIR laboratories or ACSIR academic centers, then the same coursework will be considered. Need not to do that coursework again. Indeed, if somebody comes from an institution outside ACSIR system, then also certain credits we transfer. But there is a limit of the number of credits that can be transferred. Karan Saxena has a question, sir, is direct PhD after BTech possible at ACSIR? At this time, we are not encouraging direct PhD from BTech. It used to be there, and the reason is not because of any technical hurdles, it's more of an administrative hurdles. And I personally am very sensitive about it, because after completing such a PhD, when somebody goes for kind of a competitive employment, invariably there are certain marks for masters, and those marks are not given to those students. And it doesn't make a big, it is not a big gain even if doing a PhD after BTech. The better could be that the PhD work can be accelerated by achieving their objectives of the research work, and what you expect of those 2 years, those 2 years can be easily saved by the performance, and eventually it will be useful for this. Therefore, in ACSIR, we are not at this time, earlier used to be there, but we are not at this time for the benefit of the students, not because of anything else. Nitesh Kumar, student exchange program with foreign universities. That's a very good question. We have a joint PhD program in place with Royal Melbourne Institute of Technology University, RMIT University in Australia. It's in Melbourne. About 50 students are enrolled under this program. And first batch will be graduating this year. We are in dialogue, almost finalized, with another university in Australia, but when it was just at the final stage, the vice chancellor of that university changed. And you know, when something changes, so they expected certain changes in the draft. So we are working, our dialogue is continuing with them, and some of the European universities are in dialogue. We are keen to do, and we are continuing to have these kind of programs with the universities abroad. The RMIT program, it was signed before actually I joined ACSIR, and it was signed as a joint based PhD program. So joint based PhD program means that it is a single degree which will have the logo of both the institutions, RMIT as well as ACSIR, and it will be signed by the heads of both the institutions. So this kind of a degree had some kind of an administrative problems. So we have now achieved, before even the first batch of graduates come out, to help students, we have changed the whole agreement, which we call as and signed the deed of variation that has been signed by both the institutions. Now this program will be in the mode of operation of joint PhD program will be a co-tutele. Co-tutele means there will be 2 degrees. One will be given by RMIT University, one will be given by ACSIR, but a single thesis will be submitted. This means the same thesis. Same thesis means exactly the same piece of research work will be submitted to RMIT, same will be submitted to ACSIR. RMIT will have its own procedure of evaluation. ACSIR will have its own procedure of evaluation of a thesis. It is also possible that they can jointly get evaluated by the same set of examiners. There is a flexibility on that, and degrees will be awarded by both institutions. And a line will be mentioned that this degree has been awarded as a part of the joint PhD program with RMIT. This is what we will write, and a joint PhD program with ACSIR. This is what RMIT will write, and this is the best model that is operational, and we adopted it, and this will be available. Actually, this mode will be only given even to the existing students. This we have finalized with RMIT University. We are under discussion with many other universities in abroad, and indeed now we are more interested in having by both direction movement. This means the students from other universities should also come to us. We are not in that only our students should go. This is where a core learning and an interaction happen between them, and this is better in many other respects. Prasanjit Chakravarti writes, I would like to ask that CSIR is a government organization and providing science and technology degrees to the PhD student despite of why institutes are not part of the Prime Minister Research Fellowship. This Prime Minister Research Fellowship, this program we are working now, our Director General CSIR, Dr. Shekhar Mande, is in correspondence with the MHRD that CSIR, ACSIR, where the PM Research Fellowship can be availed. That is being worked upon, and the things are in process. We hope something will come out of that, because basically Prime Research Fellowship implementation happens from the Ministry of Education, the MHRD, now it is named as the Ministry of Education. That happens from Ministry of Education, but I think the positive things are happening on that development. Once it concludes, we will share with you. Samurti Vardhan Purohit, what about Inspire Scholars? When we will have to write up the final research proposal? No, Inspire Scholars, we take Inspire Scholars. Inspire now, earlier Inspire Scholarship was straightforward, that once somebody is a topper was given a fellowship, but nowadays they have a 2-tier system in which their research project itself is evaluated. Therefore, it is better for them because financial assistance is important. So if they have an assured fellowship, that is smoother for them to conduct. ACSIR as such doesn't concern with any fellowship. We have a requirement for a student to have a fellowship in science for PhD admission. That requirement is with respect to its a competitive evaluation, not with respect to its financial aspects. So it's a kind of a assessment of the merit, not the money. Partha Chattopadhyay, I am Partha from CSIR IGIB. I have a question regarding what you mentioned about publication. While publishing, generally we use institution affiliation. So shall we use ACSIR affiliation too? Yes. And a publication can have, this is a truthful affiliation. So a student works in a CSIR laboratory and a student is an ACSIR student, works in a ACSIR academic center. So a student will reflect both. It's both CSIR Institute as well as ACSIR. And this is how most of the students are doing. Affiliation, you can have multiple affiliations, there is no issue on that. Nitesh Kumar writes, will we get opportunity to do foreign exchange program in IDDP? You mean to say the joint PhD program that is open. We'll have to have a discussion with that, but you can only go in a third year. When you have completed 1 year, our existing program has a requirement that a PhD student has completed at least 1 year in ACSIR. The selection procedure for this joint program is being made more open, and the discussion is going on with the Deputy Vice Chancellor of RMIT University, and will come out with a more open system. But of course, opportunities are equally open that goes through the institute's route also. Tony Meritim writes, what is the ACSIR policy on international students program? TWAS fellows at ISBT. No, we have many TWAS fellows who are pursuing PhD in ACSIR, and this is a kind of this ACSI as an equal opportunity. Once a student comes from a TWAS route, is most welcome. Many are doing it. We have no restriction on that because TWAS fellows are initially accepted by the institute. So the visa and all those parts, they are handled by institute or student itself. As an ACSIR institutions, for running the program, we are open to that. So this ends with our questions. If there are more questions, please do communicate. I have some more. Thun Gobung writes, sir, is it possible to have a dual degree with a German university? If not, is it possible to have a co-guide from a foreign university? Yeah, your question has two parts. That dual degree with a German university, this is part of when ACSIR as a university or an institute signs an MOU with another institute, that's how a program starts. If there are some institutions which we can form an academic alliance, that will be nice, but it has to be on an equitable basis. This means if our students go to a university that abroad, that university should give a fellowship to our students for the duration he or she stays in that university at the same rate as their own students get it. And I am happy to share with you that we at ACSIR from our own resources have made a decision that in case of an exchange student, if a student, say for example from RMIT or comes to our CSIR laboratories for joint PhD program, to that student ACSIR will pay fellowship at the same rate as our students are getting in the country. That's how we make it an equitable basis. If that kind of arrangement with a university can happen, that we welcome. But otherwise, without fellowship, it becomes a financial hardship for our student to pursue research there. They must provide a financial support, and that finance support has to be at par with as their own students. Is it possible to have a co-guide? We are very flexible in having a co-guide from a foreign university. There are no restrictions. That foreign guide can be from any institution, but it requires a dean's approval with respect to the guides. This prospective co-guides CV must be provided, and the deans can approve that. Bajpai Manali says, those who have not got their final semester mark sheets, can they start attending their classes from August, because starting from January will be delayed for MTech in engineering sciences. We have made it very clear that those who have still not got their master's degree and been offered admission at ACSIR in August 2020 semester, they can join and they can submit the mark sheet, original mark sheet for verification, and a copy of the mark sheet of the master's degree for the records by 31st December 2020. But it also has a caveat that these students are joining at their own risk. I wish this situation will not come, but if they provide, they can move on. With this, the questions that I have received on to my staff, questions, it will be pleasure to answer them. Feel free to write to me